So managed authentication makes it easy for you to enable your customers in your application to connect their account for any API that we have integrated. Like I said, today it's more than 2,500. We add more every single day, and that list is going to keep growing. And so with the managed auth part of Connect, it makes it easy for you to either add a connect your account button directly in your application with our front end SDK. You can also skip any front end work and just return a link directly to your user that they can open up in a separate page to go through the flow. So I'll demo that now. This is basically our kind of example demo app that we have in a public repo. We point you to here from our docs. It's also linked like from our actual product in the UI. And so you can run this. This is a Next.js app that you can run using your own credentials from your Pipedream project and from your Pipedream workspace. And so when we load this, we instantiate the Pipedream client. We get this short-lived Connect token. And in the example app here, again, this is just an example of the implementation to show how the auth process works. This is not like the UI that you would actually integrate into your product, but any app that I want to go through the auth flow for, so I'll say Slack, for example. The demo app gives me the ability to either use Pipedream's default kind of official OAuth client if I want for now. I can also, of course, configure my own OAuth client, configure it in the Pipedream UI, enter that here. I'm going to skip it for now, and I'll just use Pipedream's OAuth client. So I mentioned this, but there's basically two ways for your users to go through the auth flow. One is you can, when you create that short-lived Connect token, you also get back a Connect link URL. And the point of this is it gives you the ability to let your users connect their account outside of your core application. So if either A, you don't have a front-end app that you're running, you don't have your own UI, you can't execute JavaScript within your own UI, or any other reason that you don't want to use this. Maybe you're running a mobile app, for example, and you want to kick your users out to the browser to connect their account. This lets you do that. So you click on this, and it just basically opens up like a separate Pipedream hosted page to go through the auth flow. You can see in this example, I've customized some of this to say, Acme Co is the name of my app that we're pretending that I'm developing for. So Acme Co uses Pipedream to connect your account. And then you can go through that same flow directly in your UI if you don't want to kick users out of your app. So you just open that flow here in the UI. So we'll go through it here. So I'll hit continue. You get the normal pop-up. I'm going to connect it to this workspace that I have. If you use your own OAuth client, of course, it'll say, Acme Co is requesting permission to access your Slack workspace and not Pipedream. And that's configurable within the Connect implementation in the Pipedream UI. So I'm going to go through the flow. So we've connected my account. And so now I'm going to go into the Pipedream UI. And we have this Connect section in the UI. And I'm going to go to the Users tab. And I have a few users who have connected accounts here. And so this is the one that I've just connected here. You can see, this is the user ID that I have here. And I just connected my Slack account. So you can kind of manage it from here as well. But you have a view of all of the users who have connected their accounts here. And then, like I said, the URL gives you the ability to just share that out either via email, text, however else you want, without actually doing any front-end implementation work. You can also configure where you want to redirect users to when they finish that auth flow. Since they're going to be a different page, you can redirect them like back in your application, whatever you want to do. And so this part of the product, just managed auth, the kind of scope of this way of interfacing with Connect is we make it easy to connect your account, and then we surface an API for you to actually retrieve those credentials. So you can look through our documentation and you can list out the accounts here. You can list all the accounts in your project. You can specify based on the user ID in your system, give me all the accounts for this user. And then when you actually pass the include credentials param, you get back the actual raw credentials. So in this case, the OAuth access token, This is an example of GitHub, for example. So you'd get back the actual OAuth access token from GitHub, so you can take that and do whatever you want with it in your own application. And so that's kind of the extent of like using Pipedream. That in this context, Pipedream is really just handling the auth flow. We make it easy so that you don't have to do anything with OAuth, storage of tokens or sensitive credentials, refreshing any of those access tokens, even API key apps. We've heard from tons of customers that they just don't want to deal with API keys and any type of sensitive tokens or credentials. Pipedream is SOC 2 certified. We're GDPR compliant. We're HIPAA compliant. So we've kind of gone through all of those processes to make sure that we're following best practices from a security perspective. And so that's been one of the main selling points for Connect, is really just using us to store all of those sensitive tokens. This part of it, managed auth, is free on all workspaces up to 1,000 connected accounts. So you can use Pipedream Connect, get the auth for up to 1,000 of your users, and use those credentials however you want in your application. And that's totally free to use.